guys, this is Drill with Quantum Light Consciousness. Today we're going to talk about unlocking your heart, okay? The heart chakra is the energy center that is basically the center of all creation, at least in the physics of the human mind-body system. What you get is when you tap into the raw power of the physics of the heart is a walking universe, all right? You are a universe. You are the cosmos personified in a physical body, like a walking human body. All right? Same particles that are making up your molecules in the cells in your body are the same particles that make up the stars in the sky. All right? You ever hear the term "you are stardust"? Like, that literally is physics. All right? Even mainstream physics will tell you, that you are the same molecules that make up the sun, the moon, stars, So what I'm trying to get to is the heart chakra, okay, is probably the most radically dynamic and most incredibly powerful unit of creation in the entire universe, okay? Now, that's a pretty large statement to make. However, it is true. Just from my own perception of it and my own experience of it, and that's what this blog is about, is my own experiences projected out across YouTube land to you guys. You guys can take it for what it is to you, okay? So, kind of want to start with, what you guys may be experiencing with the heart chakra. Basics of meditation. You learn about the 7 chakras, and you learn that there's more than 7 chakras, but basically you just understand that the 7 chakras are basically energy centers. They're spherical energy centers, and they relate to each different level of the body on different areas of your life. The root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, crown, soul, star, and above, okay? All those chakras each have their specific points that they relate to. However, when you begin to unify those chakras, it all comes back to the heart, okay? You have to use your heart to actually unify the chakras. All right, so the main thing I want to get to is when you unify your chakras, you're literally gearing your chakras all as one with the center of your heart, with the center of yourself, like driving your vessel as the pilot, or you want to call it like a driver or whatever you want to call it, because your vessel is actually a vehicle. All right, now to take it simple, your body, okay, when you expand your body and you expand there's a hawk flying, all right, when you expand your awareness of your own self, of your own energy field, and you're able to control that expansion and contraction and compression of your own energy field, you begin to understand that everything is conscious, right? Every single thing around you is conscious, and you begin to feel, breathe, sense, and see with your heart, okay? You become your heart, all right? So it becomes obvious that your heart is actually you, okay? Just like when you're born, all right? I say this in every video. When you're born, okay, you fold out of a beating mass of a heart. It's like a baby blob, after contraception happens, you're just like a blob of beating cells, and then you turn into a heart. And then the baby forms out of a beating heart, all right? It's literal, okay? So your heart, when you begin to unlock that pulse of life, that pulse of gift of life, of creation, from, creator, from whoever you pray to, you are becoming an aspect of that creator being yourself, okay? So here's why you should do that, all right? So what nobody tells you is when you incarnate on the physical plane, there's a lot of density you got to move around through every single goddamn day of your life. Every single day you get up in the morning, from your first interaction of the day, from driving to work, from going to school or being at work, dealing with coworkers, driving back home to work, and being with the family. You know, you're going through the density on the planet Earth because the entire Earth has been going through a dark rift in space. And through that dark rift in space, you have a whole bunch of dense negativity that has been controlling the population to have the population, you know, have the planet run the way it's been run. All right. You know, contrary to popular belief, it isn't really like a golden age here on the planet Earth. It's not exactly like sunshines, rainbows, you know. It's kind of financial enslavement, you know. And, you know, not to bring up, you know, negative forces. However, you know, it's necessary to understand that the forces that impose their will on the people, running the people as the control center, as the control system on the planet, goes on multiple levels of etheric control as well. So when you begin to wake up and tap into your inner power, you have to get through it. And the easiest way to get through it is to begin to unlock your heart. Okay? So when you unlock your heart, you basically become like a pulsing, living, breathing being of a fractal of Creator. Alright, so waking up says a lot of things about people, alright? When somebody says that they're awake, they could be saying, oh, I'm awake on an emotional level, I'm awake on a physical level, I'm awake on a spiritual level, I'm awake on a psychologically, spiritually, emotional level, I'm awake on a enlightened level, I'm awakened on a level of meditative experience, I'm awakened on a relationship level with people and the dynamics of like sociological involvement with people in the community. I'm awakened on, you know, there's a totally like vast array of how you can actually be awakened, you know. However, like physically awakened, to me at least, is understanding the physics of the quantum field, understanding your own physics in that quantum field, and yourself as that being inside your own field as the field itself. Okay? Take it for how you want it. You know, there's a lot of people making, you know, YouTubes and putting out books and professional stuff. They're totally just caught up in a net. Like, it's not like something that, you know, most people may ever get out of. However, you know, it doesn't mean that they aren't capable of making a huge change in the world. Okay? So, you understand that this net is actually the fourth dimensional veil of illusion. Alright? And in this veil of illusion, you either move through it, you know, with the beat of your own soul, as a heartbeat of yourself, or you get attached to the rest of your life, you know, and you do what you can. So that's it. So the way I get through it, the way I activate my heart, alright, basically the way I get through density and pulse through the garbage, so I have a whole bunch of like negative ETs, negative etheric beings, just negative attachment, artificial intelligent beings, like if you can even call them beings, like literally trying to hack my field, trying to hack my sphere, get into my sphere, and literally like overlay me or replace me as a soul. Here's what I do, alright? Basically, I know myself as a core creator being, you know, as a God conscious being from the core of my existence, alright? So basically, I understand the physics of my own body, so I understand the physics of my own heart. So I can actually go into the physics of my own heart and actually pulse those physics through the pulse of my heartbeat through my own physical body, alright? So when I do that, I'm literally pulsing everything off of me, and everything starts to bounce off of me and pulse off of me until it's blown off, you know, wherever. Alright, so the way I do that is, okay, I'll put the little diagram up. the heart is a toroidal field, all right? It's actually 7 layers of muscle, all right? And when the heart beats, it throws force. It literally throws force in a spiral, all right, through the torus, all right? So basically what I imagine, what I visualize, is a torus made of bright, pure white light. And that torus pulsing, all right? And I link my heartbeat to that torus. And then I blow everything off of me. I do that every day. You know, I work out, I do that shit every day. Like, it's not a joke when you're down here, right? Like, when you're down here, it's evolve or die. You can feel good on the inside, but you don't have to let shit attach to you while you're doing your stuff. You know, you can understand the physics of your own human mind-body system without getting shit like hanging onto your leg, clinging onto your leg, hooking onto your skull, hooking onto the backs of, you know, your legs and your lower back and shit. That's why people have back problems, hip problems, knee problems and shit, because you got etheric beings hooking in and siphoning energy off you for your entire fucking life. I can go into this. I'm not gonna go too far. Alright, so what I'm saying is get into your own heart. Get into the core essence of your own soul. Get into the own personal feeling that you feel when you feel your own personality. Alright? When you feel your own soul, when you feel your own energy flowing through you, what does that feel like? You know? What do you want to do with your energy? You know, when you have free time, you know? You don't have to scroll social media, all right? You can actually do stuff that makes you feel good. You know, even if it's just listening to music and laying in your bed, like literally get into the feeling of soul, all right? And then work on yourself and basically pulse energy through your own chest, you know, and you'll be able to start to at least begin claiming your space back and unlocking your heart, all right? Because there's a lot of negative forces out there at play. First thing they go for is either your heart or your skull, all right, your brain, all right. So, you know, not to end this video on a negative note, you know, I like to kind of like mix it up and, you know, throw these downloads out when I get them, only because I know there's people out there who are constantly breaking through the veil, who are constantly looking to how to get more out of their physical awakening and become more conscious themselves. I personally like to move at a faster rate. I just recently began bringing in my 10th dimensional version, who's a draconian being. I was like a huge dragon into my body. I'm like deadlifting weight. I feel like I'm on fucking beast mode. Like literally, it's like crazy. It's like I started doing this heart meditation with a 10th dimensional Drake in my body, like a draconian dragon being in my, like, layered over my energy body. It's insane. It's like, you know, it's baby steps when you first start, but eventually you'll be able to start to climb and climb and climb and climb, like literally, like interact this being, this higher self, this higher self, this higher self, this higher self, until you get so strong in your energy that you're just like moving energy just like without even like noticing that, like, you know, shit doesn't even like bother you anymore that really would have affected you and had a negative reaction or a trigger like a couple months ago. So this is why I do it, you know, so I can live a life where I'm not constantly like bogged down by the typical like lesser, I don't want to say lesser mortal stuff, but it's like lesser negative shit that, like, you know, would affect someone's subconscious without them even realizing it. Because once you get to a space where you are more conscious, whether you like it or not, you really don't have a choice. You know, and I guess that's kind of why I make these videos for those empaths out there who are super sensitive and super, you know, enlightened to the fact that, you know, energy does exist and you can feel other people's stuff.